Hello there, friend. Welcome to Start Early Today, your daily dose of mindfulness and positivity. How's it going? Hope everything's well. Hope you're trekking and trudging along, riding the flow of life in a compassionate, empathetic, and peaceful way. It's all about our perception and how we see the world, how we relate to ourselves and other people. And that determines the quality of our moment-to-moment living. So to be mindful is very crucial to become aware of the way we are reacting. Are we reacting or are we responding? Responding is one with discernment. We move with more grace rather than erratic, immediate reactivity, which is its only purpose is to protect and aggrandize the ego. It's always afraid and scared to become wrong. That's why we're always on the defensive mode. And look into what you are defending. What are you protecting? An image, a persona, a perception, a story. And look at these stories from a different point of view. Maybe take a step back and see it from a wider perspective or a grander scheme. To know life is a gift and it can be seen as such from every angle. That each and every moment that we're alive is a celebration and holy. It is sacred. Sacred encounters with other beings, sacred encounters with yourself at a moment-to-moment rate. Watch your heart, watch your lungs, watch your vision. What we see becomes our reality, and what we focus on expands. It is just the truth. And are you seeing with filters of programmings and judgments and traumas? Or are you making a point each day to see things in a clearer light? Because to evolve, one must become more aware than yesterday. We are towards flourishing rather than disintegrating. And watching these aspects of our lives, the physical, mental, emotional, and the quality. Just, is this nourishing me? Is this thought right now that's occupying my mind nourishing me? Is it leading me to my highest purpose, my highest good? And to know that you are not your thoughts, it's a very important insight as well. You are the awareness of your thoughts. So to know that you're thinking all the time, and those thoughts and those patterns of thinking, they cause you to behave in a certain way. It causes you to relate in a specific way to the world and other people. And all of these other people, your relationship to them, your relationship to the world, the way you see things, the way you receive data and information and assimilate and causing you to act in a certain way, all of these are the determinant of the quality of your being, your life. It contributes to your joy. It contributes to the physical well-being of your nervous system. Are you always tense and always avoidant of pressure, avoidant of challenges? Meet challenges head on. To meet them with determination, with honor, with a dedication, a certain amount of dignity. To know that you are the one who can handle any curveballs that life has to offer you. And these curveballs, these challenges are here to help us. They're all parts of the grand play, the grand screenplay of your life. It is complete. It is a beautiful cinema. And you can view it. You can view the summary of it in your head. that you were born, and then you came into childhood, and then adulthood, learning, angst, and then you came to a stage of renewal, learning, and all of these things are beautiful things if the gems are carried through. There's a saying that goes in the Buddhist teachings wherein, be careful when you call for the gods, for they will come to you and bang you with a hammer until the brass turns to gold. It means that it is through the challenges, through the seemingly painful and suffering, that we burn our impurities. Hence the title of my brand is called Make Pure Thy Heart. I've chosen that phrase because I know that it's resonant and evergreen. It's contained with it is a vow that we can all live by. Make pure thy heart. That's the only control you have. Are you seeing through purity? Are you receiving things through compassion and empathy, sympathy? Empathy is when you feel with someone, and sympathy is when you are feeling for someone. It's more distant. So knowing these things, we get to navigate these worlds of emotions, and it can be navigated with mindfulness and skills of a proficient sailor. You have the sails. The ocean is unpredictable, the weather's unpredictable, and that is what makes life very colorful. It's unpredictability, that you jumped into this lifetime not knowing what's gonna happen, and you just know moment to moment. And to not mind what happens next, that's by Jiddu Krishnamurti, and this is not to become too dismissive or passive or what's the word I'm looking for? Not engaged. It is the opposite. It is to become fully engaged, because you're open to worlds that are in opposition to your limited preferences. We run through the intellectual, rational mind most of the time. We have gone addicted to thinking, and thinking is very limited. It's a very limited part of reality. Your thinking limits you. Your defense, your love for being right rather than understanding the truth, limits you from the joy and possibilities of what could be. And once again, I'm inviting everyone to imagine this optimal world. If you are to have an ideal day, an ideal life, what would the next moment feel like? If you were peaceful and strong and have perfect relationships, what would this feel like? What would this look like? Imagine your heart and go back to the time when you felt love. This can be from arriving from work and you see your dog and the dog is just so excited to see you. Moments of non-judgment, moments of approval. All of these things can be cultivated right where you are. You approve of yourself and you love yourself, and out of that full cup, that is where you draw inspiration from, so that you may function in this world out of inspiration. You are aligned in action. Aligned action and aligned vision towards the highest possible good. Highest possible, the godliest version of you, the one who understands everything, the one who can bear and overcome all troubles and problems. Problems only happens in the mind. Everything is just neutral. Everything is okay. Everything will be and has been okay. It's a quote that I've been pondering lately. It's a phrase that's been sitting in my mind. It's called, everything will be, and has been okay. So there's a transition there. When we say everything will be okay, that says something's not okay now. But we shift it and add the understanding of everything has been okay. We understand that only our thinking makes things wobbly and makes things wrong. Shakespeare. Thinking makes it so. Neither is good nor bad. The Buddhist story, it says it is neither a fortune nor a misfortune. It just is. We'll see on what the moment calls for. So if the moment calls for you to serve, it is neither good nor bad. It's just the right thing to do. So how are you serving yourself? How are you loving yourself? How are you nourishing yourself? Start by priming yourself for optimal absorption of the divine by exercising. Do 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. And what you can count, what you can measure, you can manage. See how good you feel after those 100 push-ups, after a intense cardiovascular exercise. You're more conducive to godliness because your spirit is stirred up. Your spirit is stirred up. You're confident that you can do hardship and hard things are only perceptions. There's nothing really very hard. People run 1 minute miles, and centenarians are cycling the mountains of Monterey, California. Shout out to my sisters, they're into cycling. And there are Shaolin monks who can do 1,000 pull-ups. And with that comes clarity. That you are not a victim of circumstance. That you are not here to hide and become a slave to your problems. You're here to overcome, to endure, to make good of what's chaotic. To rise above the morass. That is the most beautiful thing in being a human. In our imperfections, we yearn for perfection. And that struggle, that run, that journey, that gap, the closing of the gap between you and your dream of $1 million, if that's your goal, you and your dream of a harmonious family, you and your dream of becoming the person you dream to be, that day-to-day, that training, that daily training is what life is all about. That's what's important. That is where the juice is. That is where the crux. That's the heart of the matter. You're training the person that you become, not what you get. Sometimes we're wired for the result. Okay? We want to get things. You do things because you're going to get a certain gain. You're going to get applauded. But above that, if you yearn for that, you'll find meaninglessness in the end. We've seen stories of CEOs who have achieved their monetary goals, and where did they end up? Miserable. That's why they hire mindful and spiritual coaches, such as myself, to see the more important things in life is the journey. The more important thing is the person we become. So this gap, the beauty of the journey, it's the person that you are becoming. That's your prize. That's the juice. That's the medal. That's what you're aiming for. It's the feeling as you go for it. So feelings, they can be managed because what you feel is the energy you emanate and radiate, and what you emanate and radiate, you attract and create. That's a pretty simple format and blueprint. Don't you think so? Think, feel, become. Because in the feeling of a thing, You are compelled to act out of inspiration, not out of desperation. So what you think, you feel, you believe, you become. And it becomes your character. It hardens into materiality. That's why habits are so important. Become a habitually mindful person. Have a moment-to-moment dropping in and letting go. And tune into reality by naming 5 things that you can sense. Maybe 5 colors. There's a practice like this, right? 5, 4, 3, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 practice. Name 5 things you can touch, 4 things you can smell, 3 things you can see. I'm already centered, my friend. And of course, the body scan is so important. If you are spiraling downwards in your head of all these futile and useless, repeated, worn-out stories of self-deprecation and self-limiting beliefs, you can focus your attention to your toes, ankles, femur, tibia, knees, thighs, abdomen, heart, and just tune into your heart. Thank your heart for pumping blood. Thank your liver for filtering that blood and serving you to become the human that you are. So make it worthwhile for this intelligence. You're being served as a well put together machinery for what? For being. And that in itself is beautiful. So be the end in itself. Be it right now. Everything that you're looking for, you are here right now. Everything that you dream of, it is here right now, because everything only exists in the present moment and in your imagination. So if you feel it, it's more real than a 3D hardened thing. What's hardened, like a chair or a lamppost, it's done. It has been materialized through conscious thought. But where the magic truly happens is in the 4D, in the way you think, and in the way you feel, and the way you move through it. So you are a manifestation of what? Is the world brighter, more vibrant because of you breathing in it? Or are you like a mere, what shall I call this? A problematic, disoriented, disorganized combobulation. You're pretty organized, my friend. And no matter how you think about it, it'll just be. Because reality is. And you're gonna go tired banging your head on the wall until you realize it feels good to stop. So, what inspired action are you gonna do today that you have been procrastinating? What important things are you gonna prioritize? If it's truly a priority, it's just one. The true meaning of priority is one. So the one most important thing today, what must happen today that will serve all of your goals? And sometimes this is an inner work. Sometimes we just need to dedicate, today I'll be honorable and I will choose the thoughts that I will invest my energy in. I will choose to occupy my mind with. Because thoughts are there. Stories are there. And you are an orb, as we have talked about. Imagine yourself being an orb, and the orb is inside a house, and the house has many rooms, and the cheapest room is fear. And you're an orb, you can easily float out of that room, go to the master's bedroom, one that is tidy, relaxing, conducive of creativity and love. And it shall be your awareness if you put your mind in there, because everything's real. Everything is true. War is happening right now, and also peace is happening right now. But what matters is what's going on that which is within your control? Are you being peace in the middle of war? Are you being love in the middle of unlovable things? And the mere fact you cast your spell upon things that are unlovable makes you unlovable. Makes that the opposite of love. So be grateful if you are presented with things that trigger you. If you're triggered, it is a sign that you have yet to look into that specific area of your life. Why are you triggered? That's an unhealed part of you. That's a part of you that needs acceptance and love, and turn that around. If you cast a thing as such, you are that, because you are the caster and creator of your reality, and everything is just you reflected back at you. Everything is you, my friend. That guy who is an asshole on the road, that is you. That's the inside of you manifesting itself as a reflection as such. So watch what you think, because it materializes as a bird poop dropping on your head. Maybe your thinking is poopy, and then the 3D world just did its law. It just did its principle. The principle of cause and effect. The principle of as you think, you become, as above, so below. So you are, so you shall be unto with by the external world. And everything can be reset. And that's the beautiful thing. You can reset right now through forgiveness, through centering, and through acceptance, and starting anew. The saint is the sinner who just never quit. So never quit. You missed your workout. You did a bad business deal. Take the data. There's always data in these experiences. And you know what the worst thing is? If you choose not to decide. So practice your decisiveness, grow a spine and a couple of balls. So decide what you are. So pardon my expression if it's too crass. If you're a female, grow. What's a symbolism of strength? Yeah, spine. Spine is good. Or lift up your chest. Everything's well. And this does not mean that you're gonna be aggressive and wielding your command, your dominion over things. It just means that you're there doing what you can. You're there doing what is in your domain of capability. And the most important thing is to know that this capability and these things such as confidence, commitments, these are moves that you can do right now. Reach out to one person that can help you get out of your cycle. Maybe talk to me, book a discovery call, go to startearlytoday.com and let's make time. If you're finding value in what we do here, go to startearlytoday.com, and we're doing one-on-one calls with people of all walks of life. I talked to somebody who has been who's healing from a hard relationship. One is having a hard relationship at work. One is just a creative. She wants her work to be shown in theaters. And we just help identify what is it that they really want. And once you identify what you really want, it's easy to step into it. Because first, we're all creators. We are all sages and magicians. You contain magic. You are capable of alchemy. And this lifetime that you have right now is destined for you. You have chosen these tribulations or challenges to overcome it. It's your choice. And it is up to you if you're gonna go through it begrudgingly through pain or with thankfulness and joy. So thank you, Destiny, for bringing me here right now. I'm expanding my understanding and patience. It's all about love. Like, how much are you loving? If you love life and you love the world, you're willing to be stretched. Because it is just so. It's the only way to go. It's to just through it, to just go through it. At times we like shortcuts and we want to go the easy way, the expedient way, but we miss out on the lessons and the nuggets. So what I would like for us to do today is to find a way on how we will serve our highest self. And to first visualize what that is. If there's a God version of yourself, what does that look like? If he or she is of ultimate talent and capability of service, how is it happening? The highest version of yourself. Here's an example. I have a band. Highest version? Stadiums. And then there's a part that will say, how are you gonna play stadium? That seems too far-fetched. But then you imagine it again. Stadium. I've played theaters. I guess it's not that much different from a stadium. And now that the belief of the stadium is instilled through will and consistency, first you apply will, because your chattering mind will talk you out of it, because it is only familiar to and comfortable, and it only believes to be true the things that it already knows from the past. It only exists from data of the past. But magic and things that are worthwhile are of the future and are of the making, yet to be written by your imagination right now. So imagine it for your business. Imagine the number. 6 figures. Does that make you uncomfortable? Multiple 7 figures. How does that feel? So when you feel it, when you feel the excitement, you melt the boundary, you change your paradigm. Change the paradigm, you change your reality of you only existing in the reality of limiting yourself with, this is what has always been, so this is as far as it could be. I want you to shake that up, because visionaries and movers and shakers are no different from any of us. A lot of people started from nothing and they had a dream. And I'm always inspired by these stories. Look into biographies of companies. Give the podcast founders a listen. Coco Chanel, Steve Jobs, Vidal Sassoon, what's the vacuum guy? James Dyson. Lots of sleepless nights those James Dyson guy had. The founder of Whole Foods. They started with a store with no plumbing system, and they were only selling apple juice. But he just had to make it work. He had to work with people he formerly do not want to work with. And he made a way. He made a way for the dream to happen. So in what parts of your thinking are you prohibiting the manifestation of your dream? Have you always believed yourself to be a specific way or a trait? So try and experiment, shake that out. Here's an example. I'm not into jazz. Listen to jazz. Or you always prefer self-help than novel. Try reading a novel. And you can see the malleability of reality. I am not too flexible, but I did yoga every day since 2017. And now I'm pretty above average if you ask me. I can do arm balances, and I'm pretty proficient in the Hot 26 and the Ashtanga yoga. Both the physical and the philosophical aspects of it. So from clubs to theater to stadium, from serving your community to serving the world, there's no stop, there's no limit to what you can be, do, or become. And the only job is to center within yourself and really make that picture in your head. And to cut out the energetic leaks that are sucking up your energy, consuming you with thinking of things that does not have any relation to your ultimate dream, your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. Big, hairy, audacious goal. A goal of mine is to become clear and proficient in speaking. And I've been doing this podcast, even though at times it feels like I'm talking to the void. I can see myself conjuring up phrases in real time, like from thought to phrase, and I can easily connect concepts from this to that, and then I ball it up into a valuable insight to inspire, because that's what it's all about. We're all here to inspire each other. Everybody is yourself. Finding that balance of minding your own business and minding other people's business at a certain level. Becoming healthily synergistic, beginning with the end in mind. You know, these are the classics. This is Stephen Covey's 7 Attitudes of Highly Effective People. Be proactive. Become an initiator. You have an idea, initiate some actions towards it, and find people who are in alignment with your project and jam out. Riff on it. Make some music. So taking initiative is very important. Beginning with the end in mind. We've been talking about visualization. You visualize your future, your 5-year from now self. You visualize your physique. You visualize your bank account. You visualize your finances. You visualize your car. You visualize how you carry yourself. And you visualize how business is being transacted. You visualize your creativity, your painting. You visualize your songs, the album, the marketing. So everything is can be creatable. Everything is creatable in the mind first. So begin with the end in mind. And then you couple that with being proactive and the skill of reverse engineering. So where do you see yourself? And then you fill in the gaps with steps. And then you apply time blocking. It's just time management. You schedule it. From 8 to 9, I'm going to bang this out. I'm going to do 100 steps towards the achievement of my goal. I'm going to do 100 cold calls. I'm going to do 100 cold emails. I'm going to do $100 in marketing spend. Law of 100. I contact 100 clubs and 2 of them says yes. And then upon stirring that pot, one person that you meet at that club arranges big shows. And voila, you're invited to a festival. You see how these things work? You work it by moving first. The fortune favors the bold. You make good soup by stirring it. That one's by me. So becoming proactive, taking initiative, beginning with the end in mind, seeking for a win-win solution for everything in every relationship. Make it a win-win. Ask questions and figure out what they're about and see if you have alignment. So talk about yourself and talk about themselves. Let them talk about themselves. Okay? So win-win. Go for win-win. The mutual beneficial relationship. May it be a 10-minute conversation. Make it both beneficial. So we got proactivity, beginning with the end in mind. Win-win, and seek to understand than being understood. Sometimes we impose our way of thinking and we think that's the only way to think. And that's only one way of thinking, one that you preferred, and one that you might have picked up somewhere, not credible. Okay? So seek out to understand. Seek to understand with compassion, empathy, impartiality, and wonder. And vulnerability. Shout out to, who's this? The Atlas of the Heart, Brené Brown. So, seeking to understand and find synergistic collaborations. When you seek to understand, you get to know what the other person needs, and once you serve that need, bam, value gets transacted. That's it. And that is what life is all about. Being there for people, serving them, helping them. And starts with yourself. Do it to yourself first, and then try doing it to your peers, and you can do it to the world. And of course, always develop yourself, sharpening the saw. This is a path of lifelong learning. Don't think that you got it all together. It's nice to be confident, but it's always it's better to be open as well. So carry your confidence with a grain of salt, because nothing is really solid, my friend. So hold on to your opinions strongly, but with a light grip, loosely held strongly. What? How does that go again, my friend? Opinions held strong. Strong opinions loosely held. Yeah. So with all of your might and dignity, and as far as you can believe, with all the data, stand on it. But at the same time, keep an open ear and know that that's not the absolute truth, because everything's subject to change. So we sprinkled a little Buddha in there, little Buddhistic insight of impermanence and change. Be willing to change, be willing to bend, be willing to understand. And we've been discussing on the blog essentialism and slow productivity, deep work. Good books are out there, my friend, but books are just books, and insights and knowledge, they're there. But like a screwdriver, you pick it up and you use the tool. You use the tool for your benefit and to build something that will serve the world. We have reached our 40-minute mark. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope that you got inspired. If you picked up something good, please take note of it and feel free to share in the comments. And I would like to shout you out. Shout out to all new paid subscribers. Shout out to all Discovery Call participants. And we're here for each other. That's it for today. Namaste.